Hey everybody, Joe here, and thank you for tuning in to 360 Comics. This past weekend, I attended Zolocon, which is my local hometown toy and comic convention in Warminster, Pennsylvania. In fact, last year, I was living so close to the venue that I walked to it. Since then, I've moved, but it's still reasonably close. I picked up about a short box and a half of stuff that I'm going to share with you today, and we're going to talk about how much I spent and what I think the total value of the haul is. Over the weekend, we hit 1,400 subscribers here on YouTube, which means we're getting close to our 1,500 subscriber giveaway, where you can win this copy of The Incredible Hulk 377, first appearance of Professor Hulk. All you gotta do, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. That gets you one entry. Go check out all of our other videos from the months of March and April, and they will give you additional entries into this, so definitely check out all the videos to maximize your chance of winning. Follow us on Instagram and whatnot as well, because we do at least one sale a week on each of those platforms. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video. You don't want to miss out on the huge blue chip key grail that I picked up over the weekend. Just like most of the convention videos, I have this separated by dealer. We'll talk about the amount of money I paid for each bundle, and then at the end, we'll talk about the total and what I expect the market value to be. I bought the largest quantity of books from this first dealer, and I'm going to go through it pretty quickly because there's a lot, but he mostly had dollar bins and $3 bins, but also some price stuff too, so we're going to kick it off with the dollar books here. I paid $250 for this entire haul. Check it out. We got Sabretooth #1, a book I've spoken about a lot recently. Punisher, Warzone #1, Secret Defenders 12 with this foil Thanos cover. We got Ghost Rider 18 from the 90s run, the Danny Ketch run, and man, this cover is fantastic. Guess what? We got a signed copy as well with the COA on the back. Didn't even realize it was signed until I got home. We got Darkhawk #2. I'm specking on this book a little bit. Darkhawk #1, it's pretty expensive at this point. This still is in dollar bins all over the place, the second appearance of Darkhawk. Then we got Superman, Man of Steel. We'll always pick this one up for $1. This is issue number 19, the second appearance of Doomsday. You know, people go for those second appearances, especially if the first appearance is, out of the price range. Of course, we got the Death of Superman. Got a ton of these. Always can find them around. But you're not seeing them in dollar bins much anymore. Robin #1, the standard cover and the foil cover, foil embossed cover, very 90s. Couple copies of X-Force 4, the third appearance of Deadpool, and looks like I need to move some stuff down here. That one was a newsstand. This one is the direct edition, as are these other couple copies of it. And yeah, I'm always picking this book up, as well as X-Force 2, but you really don't see those in dollar bins anymore. Then we got Wonder Man #1, the first solo Wonder Man title there, and Warlock Chronicles #1. This character is coming to the MCU, and I have no problem getting rid of this book. People buy it at claim sales all the time. Was really surprised to see this in here. It's not in great shape, but it's not terrible. It's a newsstand copy of Silver Surfer #1. I believe this was volume 3 from the late 80s going into the 90s. And from that same run, we've got number 53. This is the first appearance of Aldan, and it's rumored that a gender-swapped version will be appearing in the MCU, I believe in Secret Invasion. I picked up a ton of copies of this book, and I'm holding on to them just in case that is the case. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but for $1, can't really go wrong with that one. On to the $3 books now. You guys know, if you watch my recent video on easy to collect runs, I'm trying to go with Spider-Woman #1 through 50. This is one that I didn't have, so for $3, why not? Then we got ASM 337, first appearance of the new Sinister Six team. We got the Hobgoblin hopping in there. Could not believe this was in $3. It's got some spine ticks, but this is the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, who becomes Carnage. Just a handful of issues later. Maybe this one was overlooked or something like that, but I've never seen one of these for $3 before. Then we got Web of Spider-Man #100, first appearance of the MK1 Spider Armor. And Spider-Man #52, the second appearance of Ben Reilly in the Scarlet Spider costume. Awesome cover there with Venom. This book's been on my spec list recently. Actually, my most recent spec video from just last week, Spider-Man 47, first appearance of Grim Hunter, $3 all day. I will grab that one. Anytime it's $5 or less, I'm picking it up. Then we got this. I pick this one up all the time. Yeah, I probably have like 20 copies of this book. X-Men 25 with the foil cover. Magneto takes Wolverine's adamantium from his body in this issue. And we're moving on to some DC stuff now, so let's switch it over. We got a first appearance of Tim Drake in his new Robin costume. Couldn't believe this was in a $3 bin, and it's in nice shape too. Same with this one. We got the first appearance of Renee Montoya here. $3 as well. And then we got a old Batman book from the Silver Age, Batman 180. Unfortunately, not a 181. That's a very expensive book. But I'm filling in a lot of my sub 200 Batman books, trying to fill in the 100 to 200 range. So this was definitely a great one to pick up for myself in my personal collection. Then we got Batman, what is this, 489, second appearance of Bane. For some reason, like skinny Bane does not look as roided out as he usually does. 2 copies of that. One of them is Newsstand, $3 all day. This is a book I'm doing a little spec on. We got Batman 41, first appearance of, what's his name? Mr. Bloom. Awesome cover. This is part of the New 52 run that they're seem to be pulling things from for this Batman universe that they might be kind of creating. If you haven't seen the Batman yet, I'm not going to talk any more about that, but awesome cover, great character, and just a low value spec potential. And then we got some Detective Comics, 336, a 12 center from the Silver Age, low grade, but I can't pass up on that for $3. Green Lantern #1 from the New 52 run. This is the teardrop variant, as I like to call it. It is an error printing where this like weird teardrop shape marking was on the first printing of a bunch, and they did go out. I don't think they got recalled. I think they just continued to print and fix the error. But hey, it is what it is. You can find these pretty easily. It's not a super rare misprint. Then we got Superman Man of Steel 17. This is the first cameo appearance of Doomsday, and he actually cameoed in this book, I believe, Adventures of Superman and Action Comics. He had a cameo on the last page of all of those books that came out one month, and then the next month made his first full appearance in issue 18 of this book, and we're going to see that book in a little bit. Then we got Tales of the Teen Titans 43, first Jericho. Love this run right here, the Judas contract, where we get Jericho and Nightwing. We got an old Silver Age World's Finest 159. It is in ratty shape, but $3 for a Silver Age book, I will take it. Then we got some Jessica Jones #1. Love this cover by Mac. Definitely wanted to pick this up, especially because maybe we're going to see the Defenders Netflix characters come to the MCU. We saw them get taken off of Netflix. And I predicted they would end up on Disney Plus. Guess what? We got the announcement that they're ending up on Disney Plus. We've seen Daredevil in the MCU already in a brief cameo. Brief but awesome cameo. Let's be real. Will we see these other characters? I hope so. I'm going to pop this one down here and move on to this next book. This is Guardians of the Galaxy. I think this is like volume 37 or something like that. But what drew me to this, it's an issue #1, and it is the team that we know from the MCU. It's not their first appearance as this team. That was in volume 2. This is a much later book, but I just thought this had a great cover with all of the characters that, the outside world, non-comic collectors, other people that are into the MCU and stuff. The characters that they know. I thought that was a great one to pick up. Then, of course, what would this be without some Daredevil stuff for myself? Issue 87. I don't think I have this one yet, so I picked it up for $3. Easy peasy. Bronze Age Daredevil, Electro appearance. I don't think it's a key other than that. And then we got Doctor Strange 62. This is one of the books where Doctor Strange, it's part of a 3-book arc of Doctor Strange and Dracula, and I always pick these books up whenever I have the chance, because people go after them. It's a pretty cool crossover, and maybe one we'll see in the MCU. I hope so. Then we got this high-grade newsstand copy of Fantastic Four 3, 58, the first appearance of Pybok the Power Scroll. There's a lot of speculation on this book. Honestly, I kind of joked about it a lot at first, but it seems like the spec is holding. The book still sells for $10 to $20 depending on condition and things like that. And yeah, I heard recently that this is the first die-cut cover. I don't know if that's true or not. This does come from 1991, so that's certainly possible. That's when they really, early 90s is when they got into the gimmick covers. Then we got an old FF annual. This is annual number 8. And I really picked this up because of the low value, the low cost, $3, and the fact that it has Namor on the cover. Nice little Fantastic Four Namor book here. He's coming to the MCU. They're coming to the MCU. Why not pick up a book like this? Then we got a weird one. This is Green Goblin number 12 or 13? 13. This is the final issue of the Green Goblin run, and the only one that I was missing. I had issues 1 through 12. I picked them up, and I was missing 13 for the longest time. Guess what? Now I have it. Complete run. Yay! Pretty easy run, a very affordable run to get. Most of the stuff you can find in dollar bins, other than like the first issue. Then we're on to the higher value books from this dealer. We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 13. This is staying in the personal collection. $6. I threw it in. Like I said, this was all a bundle deal, and I only paid $250. So I got a pretty significant discount. Came out to a little over $300. After that, we've got a book that I got 2 copies of here, Batgirl, number 1 from the New 52 run. This is the return of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and this is the first appearance of Alicia Yao, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, who is a transgender character who they have cast for the Batgirl movie, and that's a great first appearance. Now, DC has not done very well with their movies, but maybe they're going to be able to get some steam rolling considering the popularity of the new Batman movie. So let's hope that the Batgirl movie is just as good. From the visuals, I'm thinking it looks good, but we'll have to wait until we see a trailer and stuff. But yeah, I'm picking up and holding on to these copies of Batgirl 1. Then we got Vengeance of Bane at number 1. First appearance of Bane. It was marked at $25, and it is a nice copy. And it is a first print as well. It is a second print. It is a second print, which almost holds as much value as the first print. But it's, just a great copy for real cheap. Was happy about that. There was another copy. I know I paid $2 or $3 for the other 2 copies of the second appearance of Bane, but I was fine paying $5 for this one. Typically, they sell for $10 to $12. A book I always pick up. There was not just 1, but 2 copies. First appearance of Anarchy in Detective Comics 609. My favorite cover of all time. Not my favorite cover. My favorite Batman cover of all time. Norm Brayfogle, the most underrated Batman artist ever. Then we got Superman, Man of Steel, and I'm not going to show you every copy. These are all high-grade copies of Superman, Man of Steel, number 18. First appearance of Doomsday, and they're all newsstand copies. He had 8 of them. 8 of them. $12 a piece. I got a little discount on that. I'm going to send some of these to CGC because 9/8s sell for $250 to $300, and even 9/6s are well over $100. So it's definitely worth sending these in. Let's move these down here and move on to some X-Force. As I said, number 2. You don't find these in dollar bins very often anymore, but for $5, yeah, they sell for about 10 to 12. We got some second appearance of Deadpool. Great stuff to pick up, especially if he comes to the MCU, and if we ever get that third Deadpool movie. Then we got Uncanny X-Men 142. This is the second book of the Days of Future Past run, one of the greatest X-Men story arcs. It's only 2 books, so it's an easy one to pick up, although they are higher value books. This one's actually in pretty nice shape. Then a couple copies of this guy right here, the first appearance of Forge, character that I am certainly speculating on. He's got some, potential for the MCU. I don't think they've ever really utilized him in a great way. He was a little bit in the animated series, so I'm hoping that we see this character pop up at some point. And speaking of time-traveling mutants here. We got X-Men 282, first appearance of Bishop. You guys know I'm picking this one up all day. As long as it's at least pretty high grade and I can get it for a good price, I have so many copies of it. And I'm going to hold on to them. Then we got X-Men 24, the classic Gambit Rogue Kiss cover. We got some more Silver Age Daredevil here, number 46, another run filler for my collection. And then we got 3 copies of 167 from Amazing Spider-Man. First appearance of Will-O-the-Wisp, a character who I am speculating on. They were in a recent spec video, I think from a couple months ago. And these are varying degrees of condition, but they're all, at least mid-grade, at least like firmly mid-grade. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 129. No, this is not the first print. This is the reprint from Lionsgate Films. You can see it says LGF up there. And this was reprinted with the Punisher movie that came out in the early 2000s. But this is a great copy to pick up if you are, unable to afford the actual book, the first printing from the 70s of the first appearance of Punisher, but want to have the actual book. This is a nice facsimile edition. Last but not least, from this dealer, we got Sleepwalker number 1, and check this out. It wasn't 1 copy or 2 or 5. What do we got? 10, 11 total copies of Sleepwalker number 1. He had them all marked at $3 or $4. I don't know if he hadn't updated this in a while, but yeah, this book was $3 or $4 like a year or 2 ago. But with speculation about the MCU and then us getting an action figure from the Multiverse of Madness Marvel Legends set that was a Sleepwalker one, this book has gone up. It's probably about $15 to $20. Like I said, I got 11 of them, and I paid $4 a piece, and I even got a discount on this whole bundle here. So like I said, all these were $250. Let's move on to the next dealer. I've bought books from this next guy before. In fact, he remembered me as soon as I walked up to his table. His stuff was not very organized, nor was all of it priced, but if you pick out a nice bundle of stuff and bring it up to him, he is willing to work with you and make a deal, and his prices are great. In fact, I paid $250 as well for this bundle, and I've got some great stuff in here. This might have been the highest value of stuff that I got. But anyway, we got a book that was on my spec list last week again, X-Men number 4, Origin of Nightcrawler, first meeting of the X-Men and Doctor Strange. Don't have to say much more about that. Then we got the second, or rather the first full appearance of Bishop in X-Men 283. 2 copies of that. One of them's a newsstand. And we got Spider-Man and Captain Britain in Marvel Team Up number 65. This is the first American printing, first American appearance of Captain Britain. He was in British comics before that, but this is the first American-made comic that he's in. Then we got Strange Tales 171, third appearance of Brother Voodoo. Definitely some speculation and some stuff heating up around this character. Possible Multiverse of Madness. I think it would make sense, but I'm not counting on it or anything like that. Then we got Star Wars Darth Vader number 2. This is the first mention of Dr. Aphra, and this is still a very affordable key. Her first appearance in the next issue, very expensive, but it's not a cameo. She doesn't appear in any way, but she's mentioned, and for that reason, I think this is a great spec book for the future. Then we got Marvel Secret Wars number 3. This is a pretty ratty copy, but it's the first appearance of Titania, who's going to be in the She-Hulk series, confirmed, played by Jamila Jamil. I'm excited for that. Then we got some jungle action featuring Black Panther. This is number 23, and it is a classic George Perez cover. Can't get enough of this cover. I love it. I've seen it on t-shirts and posters and stuff like that. It's been used over and over again and homaged as well. Then we got Amazing Adventures number 15. Yeah, 15. And this is the first time Beast is seen with blue fur. A couple issues prior, he gains his fur for the first time in issue 11. And then this is the first time he gets his blue fur. And I keep upgrading this book. I had a copy earlier, like a couple months ago, that was low grade. I bought a nicer copy, sold the old one off. Now I got a nicer copy again. I'm going to sell the other one off and keep this one until I find a nicer one. We got some Silver Age Batman here with issue number 147. First appearance of Batman as Batbaby. I think that's such a silly, campy thing from the 60s that just makes the 60s Batman what it is. Love to see it. Such a funny cover there. This is a really ratty copy, but this was a nice bundle price at $250 for all this stuff. Then we got Infinite Crisis number 3. First appearance of Jaime Reyes. And yeah, he's getting his own movie, I believe, a Blue Beetle full-length movie. Very excited about that. This next one, just nice $3 Batman bundle kind of thing. 2 books from the Hush run, including this classic Joker cover. I always pick up, if I can find books from the Hush run for $3 or less, I'm always going to pick them up. Really popular run, people love, and one of my favorite Batman runs of all time. This next one's awesome here. We got the Spectacular Spider-Man number 9, first appearance of White Tiger, George Perez cover art, I believe, and just one of the great keys from the early part of this run. Pretty hard book to find. Then we got number 22 from the same run, first meetup of Spider-Man and Moon Knight. Could we see that in the MCU? I think so. I think Moon Knight is going to transcend Disney Plus and make his way into movies. I at least hope so. It would be great as, possibly maybe a member of the new Avengers. I think he was an Avenger at one point. Then we got, same run, number 98, first appearance of Spot. This character's had some speculation around him over the past few years. Rumored to be in the second movie, the second Spider-Verse movie. I don't know if that's going to happen, but either way, fantastic character, and I hope they eventually do him in a movie, whether it's the animated universe or in the live action. A couple issues later, we got number 101 with this amazing John Byrne cover. You saw me pick one of these up recently. I will always pick this book up if I can get it for a good price because it is one of my favorite covers of all time. Sticking with some more Spidey, but moving over to Web of Spider-Man, we got number 70, first appearance of Spider-Hulk with him bursting out of his costume on the cover. Great book, and it's a high-grade newsstand copy as well. Then we got number 86 from that run, which is the first appearance of Demo Goblin. Again, a high-grade newsstand copy. Was very excited to find these. Then we got Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, number 1, based on the television show. First appearance of Firestar in comics. Now, I always say that characters that appear in television shows and then they come to comics, I say they have Harley Quinn syndrome, and I've coined that term, so don't steal it unless you're going to give me credit. So this is her first appearance in comic books. She was on the television show, and I grew up loving watching reruns of this television show, which was from the 70s, but I was watching them in the 90s, and I loved it. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man Annual 5, first appearance of Richard and May Parker, the parents of Peter Parker. I think it's in a flashback kind of thing or like a dream maybe. I forget exactly the implications of it, but great book to have. First time they are seen. And then, especially with a multiverse situation, that could be something we see, or in What If maybe. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 328, the last Todd McFarlane art on Amazing Spider-Man. It's a newsstand. It's a nice copy. Love this classic cover. Then we got an Eric Larson classic cover next, 346. This Venom, dripping with drool, giant tongue, very indicative of Eric Larson's style of Venom. Love this cover. This book was so surprised to find it because people were gobbling this up, especially when Carnage hype was at its biggest. Amazing Spider-Man 410, first appearance of Spider Carnage, which is Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, being infused with the Carnage symbiote. And this is actually a book that I had as a kid. I've since gotten rid of my terribly ratty copy that I had. But yeah, this is one that I owned and read. I probably bought off the newsstands in 1996 or whenever it came out. Then we've got the Amazing Spider-Man 611 with this classic Deadpool cover. This is a first printing of this book. You got to look out because the second printing is a little bit more expensive, probably because it is a lower print run. The only real difference is Deadpool's just saying, he's not even saying anything. It's just his logo up here. It's a word bubble saying to Spider-Man, weren't things better in 1992 or something like that? A little play on all the pouches that Rob Liefeld was giving characters in the early 90s. And this is a great Scotty Young cover that people love to pick up. Then we got another recent book from my spec lists. I always try to pick these up when I see them. Amazing Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day 2007. First appearance of Mr. Negative. First appearance of Jackpot. 2 characters. It's a double first appearance, so if either one of them shows up, that's great. There's been rumors about both of them, hints at both of them. And speaking of Jackpot, I picked up her entire first limited series. It's 3 issues. These are selling for a good $20 to $25 right now for just the 3-issue limited series. I'm big on the Jackpot spec as well as the Mr. Negative spec. I'm holding on to all that stuff, so we're going to put this aside for later. Then we got some Ultimate Spider-Man. This is part of the run that introduced Venom in the Ultimate Universe, so first appearance of Ultimate Venom here. I forget which one is exactly. There's a bunch of different keys in here, but we got number 33, 35, and 36, and these link into the books for the next dealer. I bought 3 books for $14 from this next dealer, and I had just bought those Ultimate Spider-Man issues that I just showed you, and I walked down the aisle and then found these, and it was the fill-in issues. I had 33, 35, and 36 in the last bundle. We got 34, 37, and 38. So it's all 6 issues from this little this Venom arc here. All of them with Venom cover appearances. Love that stuff. Anyway, on to the next dealer. Like I mentioned before, Zolocon is a toy and comic convention, and in fact, it is weighted more heavily towards toys. For that reason, you can get some interesting deals from the toy vendors who ended up with some comic books, whether they did it in like a large buyout of something or, you know, found it in a storage locker, however they got these comic books. They're usually willing to let things go for a little bit less, and I got a nice bundle deal from this toy dealer who just had a random stack of comic books. I paid $100 for these Marvel beauties. We got Wolverine 88, the first meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool. Awesome cover from the 90s. Then we got Daredevil 86, another one from my run that I did not have. I don't think this one's a key either. Then we got some Spidey from the 90s. We got the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1, the silver cover, and the standard edition green cover. I don't know why they call this the green cover because it's barely green at all. I just like to call this the standard cover. We got Web of Spider-Man #1. This book has gone up pretty nicely recently, despite not really being a key of sorts. It's really just a first issue. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 265, first appearance of Silver Sable. Been looking for this book. Haven't been able to find it for a good price. Now I did. Like I said, he had it marked at $20, but I only paid $100 for all of these. So I got a great deal. Then we got 345, first appearance of Cletus Cassidy getting infused or whatever with the symbiote, the Carnage symbiote. And then we got, speaking of Cletus Cassidy, I should have had this one first, but this is his first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, book that we saw earlier in this video. Guess what? I got 2 copies now. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 346, again with that Venom cover. Already talked about this. Don't need to talk about it again. And then 347, another Eric Larson classic cover. Love this one with the spider skull. Love it. Slobbery long tongue Venom. Yeah, I paid $100 for all of these. Definitely one of the best deals of the day. This next little bundle was also from a dealer who primarily sold toys, so I was able to get a nice deal on these. In fact, I paid $50 for this small stack of key comics. We got Venom, the Madness #1 with this awesome cover, Venom's eye and Juggernaut right in there. We got X-Force #2, second Deadpool, and it's a newsstand at that. Then we got Marvel Premiere #16, the second appearance of Iron Fist. I think this book is very overlooked. Obviously, his first appearance is very expensive, and so is Iron Fist #1, but this second appearance, pretty affordable still, and this guy had it really cheap, even below market value right now. And then we got Amazing Spider-Man 200, a milestone issue, not a key other than that, but one that people like to pick up for their collection as a cheap milestone. Then we got the big one here. We got Star Wars Tales of the Jedi #1. This is a really nice copy too, high grade, and this book is spiked recently. It's the first appearance of multiple characters, and a lot of people are picking up Star Wars stuff, but what really made it spike was Disney gave away a promotional item to a bunch of their employees, and it had like The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett on it, some series that have come out already, and then it also said Tales of the Jedi. So there is some speculation that not only will there be a series or something that has to do with Tales of the Jedi and is titled that, but also could possibly be based on this and could possibly use these characters. We'll have to wait and see if they, they take from the Dark Horse properties and do that. But yeah, I'm holding out for it. I paid $35 for this bundle from a dealer who I've bought from in the past. We've got Detective Comics 609. Guess what? 2 copies of that. First appearance of Anarchy. We got Green Lantern #100. And you'll be seeing this book in a future video of mine, so I'm not going to talk about it now. Then we got Batman #204. Some Silver Age goodness. Not a key, but nonetheless a great one to pick up. Then we got Batman 205, the very next issue. Again, not a key, but I'm looking to fill out this run. We got some Superman, Man of Steel #1. Great book to pick up, a really affordable Superman #1. And then we got Action Comics 662. Superman reveals his identity to Lois Lane, and there were 2 copies of it. All these are pretty dirty and need to be rebagged. And then, of course, couldn't pass this one up for a buck. We got Ambush Bug #1, a Superman #1 homage cover of a great character. Basically DC's version of Deadpool. If you're into that kind of comic relief stuff, check out Ambush Bug. We're down to the final 3 dealers now, and this guy had a ton of $2 bins, and it was 12 for $20, so you basically got 2 books for free, and picked up a couple copies of Action Comics #1 from the New 52 run. This is the affordable Action Comics #1. In fact, I got 4 copies of it, it looks like. Daredevil 142, another filler from my run. Ghost Rider 15, I got the second printing with the gold background, which you don't see this one often, and the first printing as well. We'll always pick this guy up for $2. These sell great in claim sales, and they are the first ever glow-in-the-dark comic. This one started it all. Then we got some Fantastic Four. What issue is this? 246. It's a Doctor Doom cover appearance. You know I'm big on those. Love to see him on the cover front and center. We got an Iron Man key 163. First appearance of Obadiah Stane. I think this is an undervalued book, and for $2, that's even less than market. Had to pick it up. Character from the MCU. Then we got Incredible Hulk 291, origin story of General Ross, and a great, very provocative cover here. Love to see it. And we got Green Lantern #2. I believe this is Green Lantern Corps, Tales of the Green Lantern Corps #2. This book is overlooked all the time. It's the first appearance of Necron, and there's a lot of suspicion that that character will be incorporated in the Green Lantern, I believe it's a television series, HBO Max series, that will be coming out, I think, next year. I don't know. I don't have all the details on it, but look out for that. Then we got issue #176 of Green Lantern, and this is a key, and I forget what it is. If you know what it is, leave it in the comments below. I forget what it is, but it is a key issue. Anyway, 2 more dealers left. This next table had a bunch of $5 bins under the table that I think were going overlooked because I found some crazy good stuff in there. I bundled it all together. I got all these books for $170, starting off with not 1, but 8 copies of the first appearance of Miles Morales, the reprint from Halloween Comic Fest. This is a very affordable reprint. In fact, I believe this was the first reprint, not the second printing, but the first reprint of this book. And yeah, 8 copies for, on average, $5 a piece. Then we got some Punisher from the limited series. We got #3. number 4, and number 5. 1 is the most expensive, but all of these books hold a value of definitely more than $5, and they're in pretty nice shape as well. Then we got Alpha Flight number 51, the first interior art by Jim Lee. A couple issues later, in issue 53, was his first cover art. 2 very important and often overlooked because they're in the middle of a random Alpha Flight run. Comic books that are, just Jim Lee is one of my favorites. I don't know about you guys, but this is a book that I always pick up when I can find it at a good price. We got X-Men 257, part of the Psylocke, being incorporated into the X-Men books run. Her first appearance as, Lady Mandarin, but it's also the first in-costume appearance of Jubilee in that, yellow rain jacket. Then we got X-Men 53 from the 90s X-Men run, and this is the first appearance of Onslaught, and there were 2 copies of it. 5 apiece, had to grab that. Some Daredevil stuff, I'm always picking that up, especially when I can get it this cheap. 61, 89, another Electro cover to go along with the other one that I showed you. 103, one of the Black Widow team-up books. 121 with this awesome Hydra emblem in the background. 128. And I think this is the last one. Yep, 150. Great stuff. Definitely going to fill in some of my run that I don't have yet. Then we got Ghost Rider 15 again. 2 copies of this. Always will pick this one up if I can find it on the cheap like this. And Creatures on the Loose number 10. This is the first appearance of King Kull, and these books often go overlooked. All this early Bronze Age horror stuff that's not one of the main titles all goes overlooked. There's some really cool books in here, including in this run, the first George Perez cover art. Look out for that one. Then we got Captain Marvel number 1. This is the run of Captain Marvel that the movie was based off of. So this has some, serious MCU connections and tie-ins. Then we got a reprint of Detective Comics 38, the first appearance of Robin, a great placeholder in collections. And I'm going to be doing a video talking about reprints sometime soon, so maybe I'll show this one off again. Speaking of reprints, we got the Toys R Us edition of Detective Comics 359, first appearance of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Then we got a bunch of copies of the same book here, Batman number 442. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 total copies, all of them high-grade direct editions, and this is the first Tim Drake in the classic Robin costume. A couple more from this dealer here. We've got Batman 612 with this a classic Superman cover, as well as one of the books in the Hush run. This is one of the more expensive books in the Hush run as well. Could not believe it was in a $5 bin. This book we saw before from the New 52 run, first appearance of, what's the guy's name? Mr. Bloom. I always forget his name. I want to call him Dr. Bloom or Professor Bloom, but I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Bloom. Anyway, awesome cover. I'm specking on this character a little bit. And then we got a good one here, Batman 89, the first appearance of Punchline, character that had some serious heat, definitely has cooled down, and I'm thinking that they will likely use the character again. People really liked her. Why wouldn't they eventually bring her back? Whether it's, if Tynan comes back to write at some point, doubt that, but that character could definitely be utilized in the future. All right, on to the last dealer and the big grail at the end. Despite only being 5 books, this bundle was the most expensive out of the day, mainly because of the big grail at the end. And the way it worked out, I basically got the first 3 books I'm going to show you for free. I paid $100, which was asking price for the 4th book, and I got a nice discount on the 5th book, The Big Grail. Paid $800 for this total. I'm going to show you that now. We got Black Panther. Oh, sorry, not Black Panther. Jungle Action featuring Black Panther, number 19. This is just a classic cover of the Black Panther beating up members of the KKK. Love to see it. Racism sucks, guys. By the way, I got this shirt at Zolocon too, along with another one. Guy had some prints there. It was pretty cool. I digress. We got Black Panther, classic cover here from the 1970s. Love to see it. And then we got Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man 101. We saw this earlier. Classic John Byrne cover, negative space. I'll pick it up every time I see it at a good price. And then we got Batman 190. This is a classic cover by Sheldon Moldoff featuring the Penguin, him coming down at Batman with his umbrella machine gun kind of thing that he had going on. Love it. And especially with the hype around the Batman and the Penguin right now, great book to pick up. Like I said, those three were basically free because I bundled them together with these last two. We got Wolverine #1 from the limited series. It's a newsstand copy. It's not high grade by any means. This is basically going to be my personal collection reader copy. A couple weeks ago at the Comic Crawl, I picked up issues 3 and 4. So now I just need to get issue 2 in reader copy state so I can have the whole set there. That being said, I'm just gonna get on to this last one. Let's take these down. It's a slab. It's a 9.2. It's got white pages. It's an Ultimate Fallout 4, guys. A nice major key. In fact, if there is any modern book that is a blue chip key, it is this book. There's just no argument there that, as far as the 2000s go, this is the book to get. It has the highest price tag, of any standard edition book, printed by, a major retailer, and it's Miles. Everyone loves Miles. People my age love Miles. Younger kids love Miles to death. It is what it is. It is a grail, a blue chip, whatever you want to call it. It's a 9.2. The guy had it listed at 1,000, and I was looking at it, but I knew that was not what I wanted to pay for it. I talked him down to basically 700, even really less than that, because he got down to 700 on this, and I asked for the other 4 books, which the Wolverine was listed at 100 already. I asked for all of those books, all 5 that I showed you, for 800. So it really was like getting this for even less than that, maybe around like 650 and some discounts on the other books. I am beyond excited to have another one of these slabbed up. I'm going to probably hold on to it. I'll put it up for sale, but I'll put it up, kind of high market. And if someone wants it, they can come grab it. If not, I'm just going to keep holding this book until Miles eventually comes to live action. And I think that has to happen at some point. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go through the numbers really quick. All of this in total came out to $1,689 for everything. All these bundles that I got. I'm going to subtract this. So I'm going to subtract this book because it's, I bought it kind of at market price because it's a spec book. It's a long-term hold and it's a big grail. So without that book, I paid about $1,000 for the rest of it. I think this haul easily has $2,500. Even looking at it in a more conservative way. Optimistically, I think it could be 3,000 or more. But I like to go by that conservative number, what I really think I could sell this stuff for. A lot of it is staying in the personal collection, though, so who knows what's going to happen. But I should have no problem keeping some stuff for the PC and profiting off of, the rest in claim sales. So if you guys aren't following on Instagram, we do one claim sale a week there, usually at least one, and we're starting to use Whatnot now. So one sale a week on Whatnot. We'll see you there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video and leave a comment down below if you're subscribed to enter our 1,500 subscriber giveaway. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.